Starbucks, a very well-known brand in Malaysia, is operated by Berjaya Starbucks Coffee Company Sdn Bhd. Starbucks itself, for example, is one of the most visible examples of how the business sector is being impacted by COVID-19. For the problem statement, the researchers want to investigate the main contributing factors for Generation Z to purchase intention premium Starbucks coffee even though they are having economic and social difficulties. We would like to emphasize 4 research objectives throughout the research conducted. RO1, to identify the benefit and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z. RO2, to identify the relationship between product and service attributes and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z. RO3, to identify the pricings and purchasing intentions towards Generation Z. RO4, to identify the relationship between perceived experience, quality, and purchasing intentions towards Generation Z. Next, we researchers has listed out 4 research questions to take into account. RQ1, what is the relationship between perceived benefit and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z? RQ2, what is the relationship between product service attributes and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z? RQ3, what is the relationship between perceived pricing and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z? RQ4, what is the relationship between perceived experience, quality, and purchasing intentions toward Generation Z?
For literature review aspect, we had laid out details and explanation in every terminologies that we had used. A premium, in general, is a price paid for anything over and beyond its basic or intrinsic value. Premium coffee is created from beans with distinct flavors that have been created with care. Although this sort of coffee is normally more expensive, some people like it because of its flavor. Digging deeper into research framework, there are 4 independent variables which are perceived benefits, product and service attributes, perceived pricing, and perceived experience quality. The dependent variable is purchase intention. A customer's willingness to buy a specific product or service is referred to as purchase intention. Purchase intent is a dependent variable that is influenced by a number of external and internal variables. Purchase intentions are a measure of a respondent's willingness to buy something or use a service. Meanwhile, customer perceived value is the idea that a product's or service success is mainly determined by whether customers believe it can meet their goals and needs. As that being the case, we had made a list of hypotheses that relating dependent variable and independent variable to be tested. Hypothesis 1. H null. There is no significant relationship between perceived benefit and purchase intention. H1. There is a positive significant relationship between perceived benefit and purchase intention. Hypothesis 2. H null. There is no significant relationship between product and service attributes and purchase intention. H2. There is a positive significant relationship between product and service attributes and purchase intention. Hypothesis 3. H null. There is no significant relationship between perceived pricing and purchase intention. H3. There is a positive significant relationship between perceived pricing and purchase intention. Hypothesis 4. H null. There is no significant relationship between perceived experience quality and purchase intention. H4. There is a positive significant relationship between perceived experience quality and purchase intention.
We had used a quantitative research method to undertake the primary data collection. A set of questionnaire was designed as a tool to guide collection data from respondents. The questionnaire was extracted from the measuring method Likert scales. The questionnaire had 4 parts and captured about the respondents' demographic background for the first sections. The second and third section are analyzed variables. The questionnaire will be distributed to respondents via Google Forms. For this research, we are selecting the population of Generation Z who's consuming premium Starbucks coffee during pandemic as the sample frame. The population that being chosen is the Generation Z who are currently pursuing tertiary education, which is higher education institution in Johor. The sample size of the respondent determined by the researcher is 100 respondents who will represent the Generation Z who's consuming premium Starbucks coffee during pandemic. As for the technique, We had choose simple random sampling since it is suitable to this study as the sample obtained are an unbiased representation of a group. A subset, which is generation Z of a statistical population, which is N, in which each member of the subset, so-called respondent, which is tertiary education student, in the frame and every higher education institution students had an equal probability of being chosen. Respondents may express their agree or disagreement towards each construct statement by choosing the best scale from rate 1 until 5.
In general, the researcher had gained a total of 151 respondents after a thorough checking. Only 100 respondents are being accepted and the remaining 51 respondents are being voided due to subset mismatch. The questionnaire was distributed to several local universities and colleges around Johor such as UiTM, College Yayasan Pelajaran Johor, Polytechnic Ibrahim Sultan and many more. After executing reliability and validity tests, the data indicates that there are 3 variables with a good Chromba alpha result and 1 attainment variable that showing an excellent Chromba alpha result. Firstly, for perceived benefit, it shows that 83.4% Chromba alpha. And secondly, for product and service attribute, it shows that 86.6% correlation, and the third one is for perceived pricing, which is 87.9% after percentage conversion. And among all, ultimate variable that show excellent Chromba alpha is perceived experience quality by 92.5%, and it shows that it have the most highest correlation level. According to the table, purchase intention give a maximum mean of 3.3960. This means that most of the respondents moderately agree with the statement in the questionnaire, which evaluates their intention in buying premium Starbucks coffee. The descriptive analysis test also compute all the independent variables, and we can arrange them the data accordingly from highest mean to the lowest one. First of all, the variable that show highest mean is perceived benefit with a mean of 3.8240. Next, it is followed by the second highest mean, which is product and service attribute. Thirdly, with a mean of 3.6780, which is perceived experience quality, and last but not least, perceived pricing that has the lowest mean, which is only 3.3740. For correlation test, according to the research, Generation Z desire to purchase Starbucks premium coffee during the COVID-19 pandemic is defined. It is a statistical measure of the relationship between 2 variables, which is namely independent variable, which is 4 hours, perceived benefit, product and service attribute, perceived pricing, and perceived experience quality, and to the dependent variable, which is purchase intention. From the table, the data is nicely presented, the correlation between purchase intention among with the others for independent variable. The present study revealed that there are a positively high correlation between purchase intention with perceived benefit, R value 0.763, product and service attribute, R value 0.775, perceived pricing, R value 0.847, and perceived experience quality, R value 0.807, which is the highest R value among all variables.
For multiple regression analysis, the R-square stated 0.784, which implies approximately 78.4%, representing all 4 independent variables, and the R value is 0.885. Around 48.53% of the variance in behavioral attention is not explained. In other words, there are other variables that are not included in this study. Let's moving forward to the coefficient. Remember, the rule of thumb is if the p-value less than 0.05, the null hypothesis can be rejected with a valid and strong justification. For H1, the p-value is 0.113 and is more than 0.05. Therefore, H1 is rejected because purchase intention does not affected by the perceived benefit. For H2, p-value is 0.768 and H2 is rejected because purchase intention does not affected by product and service attributes. For H3, the p-value is 0.000 and H3 is accepted because purchase intention affected by the perceived pricing. And last but not least, for H4, the p-value is 0.004. Therefore, H4 is accepted because purchase attention affected by the perceived experience quality.